See what happens when your bail gets revoked.
I'm not doing nothing, Calvin.
Yeah, okay.
Just going to get my car.
Okay.
I'm not you, Calvin.
Okay, let's talk about how stupid Maurice is. All right, look. First of all, I'm glad he apologized to Calvin. That's the first thing I want to talk about, because he was way out of pocket the way he came at Calvin last week. But now we just have stupid Maurice. And again, this just goes back to the plot doing things for the sake of moving the story forward. Earlier in the season, I believe it was Calvin that mentioned how Q stole Maurice's car. I think he was talking with Sabrina about this, how he stole the car, and in order to, fulfill the ankle monitor restrictions, he'll park the car outside of the apartment and sleep in it or whatever, and then just leave to go to work the next day. And I said, wow, Q keeps saying how, oh, your name isn't on the lease, Calvin, so you can't get me thrown out of here, or you can't do this, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, couldn't he just call the cops about the car? And somebody was like, Jeremy, he can't do that because it's not his car. And I said, okay. I'm no expert in this, but even though Maurice is in jail, let's say if he's contacted about his car, couldn't he just say, I did not give this Negro permission to, take my car? But then Maurice is out now. And I think it was Sabrina that told him about the car situation. This was after Calvin left, after Maurice just went off on him. And I'm thinking, okay, good. Maurice, he can call the police about the car and hopefully get his stuff back as well. Instead, after apologizing to Calvin, he literally says he's going to go after Q to get his car back. And I don't think either party in this situation was too smart. Calvin obviously did come across as more intelligent, but him just being like, let this stuff go is stupid, because you expect Maurice to just not do anything. Just, what do you mean, let it go? Yes, he made a great point about bail. Also, I need to point out when he said that African, and Maurice said, why do you keep calling him that? Well, that's what he is. I think that's pretty rude and offensive for a lot of reasons, Calvin. You don't like it when people say things about you, call you certain names, or assume things about you because of the way you carry yourself and the way you dress. So I think it's pretty fucking offensive for you to address Bio as that African. Yes, you two did not start on the right foot. No, I don't expect you two to ever be friends. But I think that's pretty messed up. How I believe it was after the fight with Bio in the restaurant, you told Sabrina at the bank the next day how when somebody says something I don't like, I'm going to call them out for it and I'm going to, fight. But you just go around saying, oh, look at that African. Oh, yeah, the Africans. Yeah, he ain't nothing but a fraud. Yeah, I bet his check mounts. You can talk all that shit, but then you don't like it when somebody says something about you and your blouses or, the panties or perfume or whatever. Keep that same energy, man. That's all I'm saying. All right. Now, yeah, him saying let it go is stupid because he could just say, file a police report, call the police. Why don't you do that? Now, with the whole bail thing, I'm thinking, yeah, if he does something and his bail gets revoked, then I could be wrong because I did research this a couple weeks ago, but I forgot. I don't feel like researching it again. It could be possible that Bio loses the bail money if something happens with Maurice. I know for a fact if he does not show up to court, the bail money is not returned. But I don't know what happens if the person who is released on bail gets rearrested. I did look it up, And I do believe it depends on the state though, but based on what I found, if you paid, okay, I'm just going to make up a number here. Okay, let's say your cousin got arrested and bail is $800. You paid $800, your cousin's out of jail. Same rules apply. If they don't run and they go to the hearing, you get your $800 back. But if they get rearrested while out on bail, like let's say less than 24 hours after you bail your cousin out, they steal a car, they get arrested again, I don't believe you get your original $800 back at all. So Maurice confronts Q in the parking lot of the airport. Q pulls out a gun, fight ensues, and the gun goes off in their struggle. Now what? Now what? Now I can see it where if something happens and Bio doesn't get his bail money, oh, Sabrina, she's going to pay one way or another. I know that much for a fact. Not to mention the fact that Maurice doesn't even care about the bail. It's the principle. He F with my heart. And I don't F with nobody unless they F with me. And I'm thinking, well, you did this to yourself. I lost my job. Me and Sabrina, we lost our jobs because of him. We got arrested because of him. Your dumbass was the one that messed with him in the first place. Everybody told you, he's a con artist. He's a thug. He's a street rat. No, you're the one that decided to mess around with him because he had a big package. And now look at you. He could have just called the police. Now, granted, when he did go to confront Q at the airport, Q has this annoying thing about his character where he just does all this crazy stuff to people. And then when you confront him about it, he acts like it's an inconvenience to him. You stole my car. Look, I just had a long day. I ain't got time for this. Who the hell do you think you are? It just goes back to how stupid this entire storyline is. It just, can you imagine that? If, let's say, somebody robbed you, they they came to your house when you weren't there, or they stole, I don't know, let's just say you're at work, somebody steals your car, and then you confront them, and then they're like, look, I just had a long day, I had to deal with the wife and whatnot, or my baby mama and whatnot, I ain't got time for this. How the hell can you, I know there are people like this, but still, it's just ridiculous for him to be written this way. Now we have Maurice, and I said this when I did I did like 2 videos on this, the trailer breakdown, a video about will Q kill Maurice and will Maurice kick Q's behind. It was great to see Maurice actually fight him, but at the same time, the promo just made it look like, wait, is Maurice just wearing like a, set of pajamas or something? How does he even manage to get to the airport? I mean, I guess maybe he takes a ride share or Uber or something, but what does he expect to accomplish by just confronting Q in the parking lot? Q is the definition of no fucks given. So what makes you think you can just go up to him and get his keys and then everything will be cool? What the hell? He could have just easily called the police. And I'm just going to throw it out here, and I could be wrong about this. Honestly, I don't think Q stole all the stuff in the apartment. I said this before, I'm more inclined to think it could have been his people, because remember, Q never really stole anything. Okay, the first time he was there, he stole Calvin's bank book and everything, but based on the way Maurice and Calvin dress, I don't think he would take their clothes. That's just me personally. I don't think he could fit Maurice's clothes, and when you look at the outfits Calvin wears, he wouldn't want to take those either. If he did steal them, I think he would have stolen them just for the sake of trading them off, because remember, when he had all those crackheads up in there, he was trading, the golf clubs, electronics, and things like that, so he can get more, drugs to get high. Not to mention, Q himself didn't take that couch. It probably took a couple of people to move that thing. So, yeah, he could have orchestrated everything like, yo, remember that place we had that party at? Go hit it. Ain't nobody there. Take as much as you want. Just give me all the drugs I want right now. Simple and plain. That's probably how it went down. So, And then also throwing it out there, Q still parties with these people from the street, right? None of them know he dropped dime on all of his, I guess you could say gang members to hit that bank, and he's the only one out walking. Nobody's questioning that. You see what I mean with how asinine this entire storyline is, right? I mean, again, snitches, stitches, yet this guy's just walking sky-free, got a new job, stealing stuff. It's just ridiculous. But I think it's even more ridiculous that we ended the finale with a bang, literally, over the worst storyline ever conceived by a Tyler Perry script. I don't know what else to say. I mean, Maurice should have just called the cops. I mean, yeah, he did say, Calvin, I'm not like you. And yeah, you're right, but I do feel like, Calvin, he could have at least suggested it. But then again, I remember earlier in the season when Chris, the bartender, said, what are you going to do, Calvin? You going to call the cops? See, that's some white shit. No, that's some smart shit where it's like you can at least have a chance of getting your stuff back as opposed to just rolling around and cutting your losses. And I mean, yeah, there's a low probability of getting your things back, but at least doing things by, the book would actually have a better chance of yielding results as opposed to you going out there like some sort of vigilante in your PJs and getting a gun pointed at you. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. It's just ridiculous. Oh, also, I want to throw this back here. Maurice was rightfully called out by Calvin by not getting into any sort of trouble to avoid his bail being revoked. Yet he didn't say anything when Sabrina was the one who assaulted Q with the golf club first. Yeah, Calvin joined in, but remember when this happened, I said it way back when. How is Sabrina going to talk about how Q's confession wouldn't mean anything since he's under duress since you're beating him with a golf club? Yet you're the one who started Look, I'm not vouching for Q. I'm stating the facts. Q was sitting there minding his own business. I hate it. I'm not defending him. I'm just stating what happened in the episode. Sabrina was the one that came in, started telling him off. She was the one that got the golf club and started wailing on him until he caught it and then started grabbing her. Then Calvin jumped in and, then started beating him with the golf club until Sabrina made him stop. Why didn't Calvin say, Sabrina, don't do that? He can, call the cops on you or something. And I said the same thing. I'm like, after he left the apartment, I'm surprised he didn't go to Logan, say what happened, and they both could have been arrested. And Andy and Robin would have both been out of 1.5 million. See what I mean? The story makes no damn sense. I don't care. I hope they both got shot and died in the finale. Oh yeah, that's right. They're both in season 6. Never mind. Folks, this is stupid. And then if Q plays it off like he's the victim, don't make it make sense. Make it go away. Make this entire storyline go away.